Dad, Fred, are you hungry? Yeah, man. How about some pudding? Nah, I don't want no pudding, man. What else you got? How about some of these, man? How about some cashews? Oh, man, I want something more of substance. All right, Dad, Fred, I got something for you. How about a hot dog? A hot dog? This is a hot dog? Stay tuned. On Nightmare Kitchens, we investigate a nightmarish hot dog creation. No, wait, that's not me. Hey, Deadheads, welcome back to our channel. Oh, welcome for the first time, new Deadheads. So, you guys ready? I've been waiting on this for a while. I've been playing this for a long while. I wanted to do a proper review of this for this very unique device. So, today we're going to do our review finally of the hot dog. That's right, the HTC G Hub, which has been converted overseas into the hot dog. So let's dive into this review. Let's take a look and see if this is something that you should invest your time and money in seeking out for this rare handheld. All right, guys, let's start. All right, Deadheads, so this is a hot dog. Not a hot dog like you eat, right? Do you want to eat this? No. Anyways, this is actually the HTC Hub. It started life as a sort of a hub router combination thingy, and someone said, hey man, it's got a cool screen. What if I take that screen? It's got a good CPU in it. They put a Snapdragon 855 in this thing. What if I take all that, I build a shell around it, a controller around it, make it into an item, and guess what? Bam, we have the hot dog. So taking a look at this, we have sticks. Now these sticks are not the best sticks. Granted, they're like Vita sticks. They do click though, so they are clicky. They're kind of small. I have read, as that decides to copy me, I have read that there's a certain reason, has to do with the controller they use, that they had to go with these smaller sticks. It is Bluetooth connected to the unit, so if you turn Bluetooth off, you lose the controllers. There is a switch here to turn the control on and off, so you can turn it off. If you just want to use your touch screen and save some battery and Bluetooth, turn it back on, and then you have controls here again. This D-pad, let's take a look at the D-pad. I really like the D-pad. I think they did a good job here with the D-pad. Really nice. Now, unlike the Snowcake, which was made by Leo Zhang and kind of controlled by him, I'm not sure who exactly is making all these hot dogs. I've seen some versions of the HTC Hub which are, you know, horizontal, with like this, rather than up and down like that. So I don't know, but this particular model is the one I've seen the most. You do have a button here, a turbo button, and then you have a button here which is actually your home button or menu button. You have, I like these buttons right here. They glow. I like how they look. They're nice. They're the see-through one. They're a little hard. I wish they were a little softer. Travel on them is pretty good. Pretty good travel on it, so not bad on the travel. The touchscreen is very responsive. You can see it's very, very responsive, so really like that. And on the top here, there's nothing but this little grill design. You do have your stacked shoulder buttons, same length. I wish they were different lengths. These are not the best. If I had a criticism about it, this is probably the biggest criticism. Of course, the rest of it's good. Well, actually, the sticks and the shoulder buttons would be the biggest criticism about this device. This thing's comfortable, Deadheads. Look at this. I mean, it fits in my palm. You grip around it. I'll swing around to the back and show you the back. And it's got this nice texture. This is nylon-based. 3D printed. I've never tried nylon. I hear it's kind of difficult, so pretty impressive with it. You do have your vent here. A little Android logo right here. I think that's the HTC Android logo. And then your power button right here. And then on the bottom here, you do have your USB-C charger, centered charger. Good job. And then you have your slot here for your SIM card. Yes, you can put a SIM card in here, or, you know, your micro SD card. And then you can even plug it in this way. Now, I don't have the proper charger for that, and there's your microphone, but yeah, you can charge it that way. So pretty cool. There's your switch on the side to turn your controller on and off. Again, this is Android based. It did ship with Pegasus. Pegasus is something, what setup I like quite a bit. This is Chinese, guys. It's got Chinese ROMs on it. You can change the ROMs, but again, know what you're buying if you get into something like this. This is not a mass-produced item that's going to have a lot of support, but it does, you know, it's playable if you can figure your way around this. Now, in Pegasus, there is a menu button where you can change this over to English, so I've done that. That's not too hard to figure out. And so yeah, so you can see your settings, and then you can go in here and you can change the layout a little bit. I got this theme going. There's a couple of themes, but let me go with the original theme here so you guys can see it. Oops, let it load. Loads pretty quick. Pegasus is a pain to set up, but once it's set up, it's nice. But this is the kind of theme you might see all the time with all the different games. This had a load of games, guys. It had some pretty cool stuff I'd never played before, so really excited about that. I think this is how it shipped. I don't know, I bought this secondhand. It even has the Android tab, so you got all your Android stuff here to play with it. This is the Snapdragon. As I put the specs up on the screen there, this is a Snapdragon 855 CPU and does have a really good GPU in it, Adreno. So it's got a good GPU, CPU combo, pretty powerful. It's going to run some PS2 pretty good. Of course, the problem with PS2 is it's going to not load up in this configuration up and down like this with the very narrow bezels. It's not going to look fantastic. So really not sure if PS2 or GameCube is going to be what you're going to prefer to play on this thing anyways for that. But let's look at some gaming. We're just going to go with some basic gaming here first before we get into the good stuff. But let's look at this, some Super Famicom. Right here we'll go in and we'll play a little bit of some Contra. So here's some Nintendo Contra. And the aspect ratio is a little weird, but you can see the D-pad does have some false diagonals, so not the best D-pad for, you know, fighting games. Again, that, you know, what this is meant to do is not really play. I mean, it can play all these lower level games, but you're probably going to want to use this for some other reason. Again, running this at the full size, it's a little bit weird looking, but I kind of dig it. I've kind of gotten used to it looking like this on Nintendo. But let's shift into some 16-bit and see what it looks like. And so as we move on up to some 32X, some Knuckles, we can see here again it still looks kind of weird. It's just, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's a little too weird. Yes, you can go in and you can adjust things and mess with it. It has a pretty high refresh frame rate, so it looks kind of cool like that. But it's just too, I don't know. It's just not the best looking. And you deadheads can leave me a comment, let me know what you think about how this looks. It's definitely different, I'll give it that. I'm not very good at this game either, deadheads. Of course, you can, you know, in Retroarch, change the ratio and have a lot of big bezel here, or bottom screen. And I suppose you could do some kind of custom bezels with that. Again, but if you're going to have this big, beautiful, long screen, it's just going to work a lot better for the games like the Nintendo DS or the 3DS, where it's just really going to shine. As I struggle with this game. But you can see here, you know, I mean, we could go in and we could go back to the settings and go to your video here and scale it, and we can, you know, I got it in 1:1. We could do some 9:16 right here, and it's just really stretched out and kind of looks just silly, really. I mean, like, it's not terrible, but and maybe this is your thing, maybe. Again, leave me a comment, deadheads, if you think that this looks good or acceptable, if you think this is how it should look. or not, but let's move on and let's check out some N64. All right, so let's load up some DS here, some new Super Mario Brothers DS. So, as you can see, we have the screens configured here, top and bottom, and you can, with drastic, change this ratio, but I kind of like it half and half here. Vertically, which of course the DS screen would be like this stacked. So it's really nice and functional. I really enjoy it. It's really, as I don't play very well at filming, Deadheads, I am better than this. But you can see that it just gives a great experience with the DS. This is very nice. The Snapdragon 855 is a very capable CPU. We'll do some 3DS here in a minute, but you can see that it is definitely playing drastic very well here, and very enjoyable. Touchscreen's working, everything's working. So next to having an actual DS, or maybe since you can emulate and upscale, this is even better. Running through Android, you have all the typical Android things here. One thing that's unique about the Hot Dog, the volume is here. They don't have a hardware volume switch, so but you can just hear it. Sounds great. Sounds fantastic. So real simple to just change the volume right there. Again, this is a very unique device made out of China. I picked this up on Zanyu used. I'll leave a link in the description where you want to get one of these yourself. Again, this is using the HTC hub, which was originally meant as a sort of a router with a screen. So the screen just turned out to be a very good screen to use for that purpose, and has done so. As you see, it switches the screen up top up here. So yeah, if you want a machine that is going to be dedicated to emulating DS and 3DS, and you don't want to spend $700 on Aya Neo, this is going to be a very good alternative to that. I really wish somebody would do this form factor. Now, again, the Snowcake brought about all the clones. Because of Snowcake, we have the RPG-30. We have all the clones, so maybe the Hot Dog will create a bunch of new clones. Pal Kitty, where are you, Pal Kitty? Let's see you do this. And bring this sort of vertical, tight screen like this, layout on the side like that. So we can do something. Now, yeah, the RGB20SX sort of does that, but I want to see it more like this on the horizontal, not vertical for it. So let's load into another game. Let me show you another different game, and let's switch. And just like that, all right, some Mario Kart DS. Yes, Dr. Drastic can be my name. Why not? Do we need an emblem? Nah, I don't know why we did that. Let's quit that. Let's just save and quit. So, we don't need an emblem. I shouldn't have done that. Let's do a Grand Prix 100cc for me, Deadheads. And I gotta be, let's be Wario. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Figure 8 circuit, that works for me. So again, with Mario, new Mario Brothers, I was using the D-pad. I'm gonna use the stick here. And we do have these shoulder buttons. It's a very comfortable device to hold with these grips, so it's surprisingly just very comfortable. So anybody who wants to clone this, remember this shape. Oops, going the wrong way. That's not gonna work, but you can see, looks great. Very comfortable to hold. Buttons light up. It's got a great battery life on this. And yeah, this is just a very nice way to upscale and make DS games look just a little better than they would if we were using it on original hardware. I know there's some purists out there that prefer original hardware, but this is fun, guys. Now, they do have some metal versions of Hot Dog. I hope to get my hands on one of those and sell this one. So maybe I'll be able to do that, but this is made of nylon, and I really like nylon. I think printing it or 3D printing it is kind of difficult. But I gotta say, this shell is pretty nice. Out of my way, Luigi. As we zoom on by. Oh, I got zapped. So again, Very, very nice. Now, of course, being a Snapdragon 855, this is going to play PlayStation 2 okay, mostly. It's going to play GameCube. But with this sort of vertical screen, you know, it's going to look a little weird. This thing is really going to just shine with 3DS and with 2DS and with bezels. You can make it look kind of nice, center things. So let's try some 3DS and see how that looks. And bzzz. All right, so over here on the left we have a 3DS, an actual 3DS, and we have the hot dog over here. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the difference here. So the aspect ratio here is not perfect, so that is something to keep in mind. But as we load into this, it is of course missing 3D that you get here. And so you do get the 3D over here. So you're not going to get the same exact experience, and you can adjust this as always. What you can see is we're playing on 3D hardware. This is a little more wide than up and down. But as we load in here, just kind of show you guys that, you know, it looks pretty good. Running on the Snapdragon. Now nothing beats the original hardware if you want the true 3D aspect, the 3D effect, so there's nothing better than actually playing that. But again, you know, this hot dog is going to do a lot more emulation and a lot more things in Android and all that than this is going to do, so you do get some benefit from that. All right, so set that to the side. And we're running this at a 2x. We're getting almost 60 frames per second. Of course, at 1x, I'm sure we would get more of a better frame rate. So that's pretty much a fact there. But again, you know, the aspect ratio is a little bit different. Of course, in Citra, you are able to change around these how this looks or whatnot. So you can definitely do that. It's not a problem. But yeah, playing fine, looks good. Again, it's not going to match the ratio and the exact dimensions of a 3DS because this, unless you have black bars around it, if you want to fill the screen. But of course, you know, it's as simple as going into the menu here and just setting the settings, or actually going in here to custom layout, and you know, we can make this look a little bit more like that, a little bit. And that looks a little better, although it's smaller. But now it's looking a little bit more like the 3DS. So again, you know, you can set this and make it look like you want with borders or whatnot. But yeah, this is a very acceptable way to play 3DS, I think. Definitely if you're going to emulate, this is going to be better. You know, your Odin has a more powerful Snapdragon, and your Odin 2, I should say, has a more powerful Snapdragon. And, you know, but your screen layout, I don't know, I think that this is kind of more favorable, being vertically like this than your wide 6-inch, but maybe you like that better. But again, I think if you want to play some 3DS and DS, this is the way to go. But let's just wrap this video up and go over a few things and talk about why I think that this is favorable. It's favorable because it has a great CPU in it. It's got great battery life. It's Android. It's running a version of Android that is somewhat modern, more than the Pimax Portal was doing. And it definitely has good battery life. The controls, it's very comfortable. Now, what's not favorable? Well, it's not mass produced, so it's not easy to get a hold of. It's somewhat rare. Also, there's no support for this. There's no real custom firmware going on that I can find, so you're kind of stuck with what it ships with. So that's kind of a negative. There's no telling. You don't have any support if this thing goes wrong. So no warranty, anything like that. It's not sold by a company. You're going to pick this up on the used market. But with all that being said, I think the favorabilities outweigh the unfavorables. And Dead Fred says, you know, if you have the kind of effort and time and and you're not tight on money, this is not something I would spend if you were going to get one device. But if you are looking for a device that is going to focus solely on 3DS and NDS, along with a bunch of other stuff, get this hot dog. It's called a hot dog because this looks like a hot dog bun on each side with a hot dog in the middle. But yeah, here it is, our review of the HTC hot dog. Again, this is a very limited run of a unique form factor that I hope is mimicked and mass produced, just like the RGB30 brought the snow cake form factor to the masses. Now we have all the clones. I hope someone does that with this. Well guys, it's been another Dead Fred review of a unique item. I hope you guys like seeing the reviews of these unique items, and we'll stay tuned to the channel. Let's see you next time, Deadheads. Dead Fred out.